So I want to start off by pointing out that up to 20% of the world population of giant sequoias, which of course is the largest tree in the world, have been lost in the last 4 years from catastrophic fires that have been intensified by drought, high temperatures, and other effects of climate change that we've been seeing. On a much smaller scale, the increased activity of a native sequoia bark beetle has caused a secondary emerging threat to the giant sequoia population.
We have never before seen beetles able to kill an entire tree, a large mature giant sequoia. So that is what our concern is, and what has brought us here today to do this health check on the General Sherman that you can see behind me. We have our amazing UAS drone team that has a variety of drones with different sensors on it to simultaneously fly the drones and look at the canopy and see what they can detect in terms of what's happening in the foliage and in the upper crown. Let's get up in that canopy and make sure that there aren't things happening in the canopy that we need to address.
Astro, the free fly Astro right here is going to be flown next and has a LiDAR payload on there, and the data link between the drone and the controller over there is the Doodle Labs 2.4 gigahertz. That's where all the doodle magic happens.
The Doodle Labs radios, we work with FreeFly on the unlicensed category over here with this NDA compliant solution to be able to provide a reliable data link in any type of environment. As you can see here, we have a lot of really large trees, limited space. So while we're not flying really far distances, it can still be quite challenging as we're getting to the top of the canopy. So it's been really cool to see just kind of the stress test of the data link and be able to see how it's being used to support a lot of different payloads.
Does it matter if I do this on the pad?
No, it doesn't matter.
Makes this process incredibly easy.
I have good news to report. There does appear to be some level of beetle activity in the General Sherman tree, which is not surprising. The native bark beetle here is present throughout the forest, and it's always been here, but they don't seem to be very successful.
And drones give us an ability to scale out those observations and to verify what Anthony saw. So in this case, we had Larissa Perez on the sticks with UAS, and she was able to identify some of those entry points that Anthony mentioned. And so that's just a validation of not just the nature of the technology being very fine scale, but our ability to deploy it in conjunction with what scientists are doing on the ground in order to form a multi-scale approach to observations that we can then use to inform management.